So although you've got 22 kilometers on the Col du Tourmalet, basically the first 10 up until Ferrières are nice and gradual, really tracking along at about 1 or 2%. So when you hit that village, it's really nice and picturesque. Got a good left-hand bend which you come around, but the problem is that's where you get a nice marker saying 12 kilometers to the summit, and the next kilometers at 9%. So from then on in, it really starts to get quite tough. Running at about 9%, then the following kilometre after that 6, all the way up until 4k to go, and then would you believe it, kicks up a little bit more. So we're in that midsection now, still at 8%. The road's quite nice though. It's not a fantastic surface, it's a little bit bumpy, but more than adequate. Nothing really to watch out for. No big holes or bits of broken tarmac. We're at 8 at the moment, so it's pretty, as this midsection's really constant. It's like 7–8%. It should get a little bit nasty towards the top, but at the moment it's a steady gradient for a good 3 or 4k. It's worth certainly experimenting in your riding, what's comfortable in terms of a climbing style, position on the bike, breathing. You know, don't be afraid to try things out in training and in events beforehand. You know, maybe you prefer, you know, more sort of seated position, a slightly easier gear, just to keep the legs ticking over. The gradient's nice, using the lower back as a power source, just keeping the cadence nice and even, nice and high. You can get around 85 RPM is pretty good. Or, you know, using your body weight a bit out the saddle is a technique which I seem to spend a lot of the time out the saddle, but try and mix it up a bit so you don't exhaust all the same muscle groups. Give one set of rest and sit down for a bit. Try and keep your breathing nice and under control. Try not to do a 10-minute piece of dialogue on an 8 to 9% section of climb. It's not going to help your performance come July 18th. Still at 8%, just over 1,000 meters in elevation now. Yeah, that's the thing about the Etape. You ride on some of the most beautiful roads in the world, make the most of it. You know, obviously it's a personal challenge, but just look around. Take the time just to soak it all up and have the memories forever.